back, party people. It's me, V. This is Z. And we're Ohio Pizza Party. And today, I sound like a broken record, but we're doing another Columbus classic.
It's going down.
And this one is literally one of the OGs.
Old school.
If you ever got a chance to pick up this book, Columbus Pizza by Jim Ellison, it goes over the history of Columbus Pizza, but they're like the first couple pages of the book. That's how old they are. They've been around since 1952.
Ooh.
In the same spot in Clintonville. So Gatto's is located at 2928 North High Street in Clintonville, right on near the corner of Kelso and High. And they've been pumping out the same pizza for almost 70 years.
Woo!
But actually, the first time I've had it in years, and he's never had it. Walk inside and you feel like you're stepping into just an old pizza shop. That's what it smells like. It's what it looks like.
They got the old school ovens. Yeah, they have the old school pictures. Yeah. The benches are still old school.
And actually, they only started taking credit cards like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
cash only.
Cash only. It's very reminiscent of Rubino's and Bexley. Actually, the way they cut their sausage is just like Rubino's. Just get the big square. They make them in loaves and cut them in the real thin squares. It's a thin and crispy pizza. It's like your quintessential Columbus style pizza, except no cornmeal on the bottom. Yep. We got two 14 inches. We got one with half classic pepperoni, which is their cup and char kind of crispy pepperoni, and then we got another half. They have another type of pepperoni, which is the Ezo brand, just like a regular pepperoni. And on the other pizza, we got a half of their homemade sausage.
Nice and thin.
Half of their homemade meatball, which I don't think is on the menu, but they will put it on the pizza. They make their own sausage, meatball, sauce, and dough in-house. Basically, what do you think about that crust, Z? Tell them about the crust at Gatto's.
The crust was pretty nice on both pizzas. You can tell that it was nice and crisp on the edges, even on the middle pieces. It still had a nice little kind of like crisp to it. You guys just heard and saw the field test. And very tasty, very fresh.
I have a feeling this is a place that's really consistent. They always cook their pies pretty much crispy like that all the time. But at least the toppings, we think about the toppings. The toppings.
The
sauce.
I mean, the sauce was, you could definitely tell it was a little sweet. It was subtle, but I like that it was subtle because it just amped up the other toppings, which was the cheese, very thick, pepperonis, plentiful.
Yeah, all of it. All the toppings, they put a good amount on there. The good amount, really the perfect amount of sauce and cheese. It was like...
The balance was just on point.
Yeah, you look at the cut of it, and it's just like a perfect ratio of like the thin crust, the sauce, and the cheese. It's like...
You can tell that it was a homemade sauce. You can tell that it was homemade meatball, and you can definitely tell that it was the homemade sausage.
Right. Yeah, I would say the sausage was my least favorite. It just lacked the taste. The texture was good because it's thin. I prefer a crumbled sausage, but I feel like it was just lacking a little bit of taste. I feel like the meatball was really good. The meatball is really good.
OPP pro tip:
get that.
Always get the meatballs anytime you go.
But yeah, and the pepperonis were both great. I just like this curled, they were a little zestier, and so I would get a whole pizza just that.
I was pretty impressed with the amount of pepperoni. Right. And then there wasn't so much grease.
It's just your quintessential Columbus neighborhood pizza. I feel like every neighborhood has a pizza like this. Solid every time you get it. So, Z, OPP score. What are we giving Gatto's?
OPP for Gatto's, I think you said it the best. Solid overall. We're going to go with the 8.5.
8.5.
8.5 for Gatto's. I was not overly wowed, but I mean,
it hit the spot. And it's one of those places that it'll always hit the spot.
Yes.
And they're open every day, 4 to 10.
Friday and Saturdays maybe, I think, until 11.
Okay, they open a little later.
Definitely represent Gatto's. I'm sorry that this is my first time.
We should have definitely.
Probably later on this week. Shout out to Clintonville. Shout out to Gatto's.
Careful, it could be dangerous.
I'll try it.